Welcome back to part 3 of our special recording with our live audience. Give Mick that mic.
The humble beginning of Support Together was just a personal experience. You know, happened to be my wife that had postnatal depression and tried to find some way out of it. And we're sitting in a room now tonight with, 8 or 10 people here, and every one of them has been affected by postnatal depression. And they're sitting here mostly with smiles on their face. They're here because they want to be here. They're not, there's no gun held to their head. But they've went through a journey and they're still probably going through part of it as well. They're existing because of Support Together. And, we can't underestimate the value of what the small organisation has done. Mm-hmm. If it was an NHS function or organisation, it would be all over the media. But it's not. It's a small place in a small town in a small country.
Making massive
changes at local level. Mm-hmm. And
we're the living proof of it.
It's just something, and I don't know if she's going to like this, but Caitlin, you're sitting beside your dad there, and your dad has shared that, this charity has started. How does that make you feel? Do you look? I know we're going to do a podcast and talk more deeper. It's just, don't worry, I'm not. Poor creators, put it on the spot.
We blush.
No, but I think that's an important message to get out there, because often we don't share how we have felt. Like, a lot of us are sitting here as mummies now and we're sharing a story, and often we mightn't want our children to hear it because of shame and embarrassment and what are they going to think of us, and this bond and this attachment. I loved Caitlin, but my love was buried that deep with pure and utter friggin' anxiety and worry. I couldn't enjoy because I was so afraid I was doing the job wrong. And often that thing, this bond and attachment, love grows. That enjoyment comes at a time when you start relaxing into your role as a mother. Like, the hood is a challenging place, but it's also a wonderful place. And from the story of Support Together, and Brenda was the one that first planted the seed, say that, Jesus, there's nothing out there, and that's a disgrace, and people are suffering and they shouldn't be suffering, and we need to do something about this. So it grew with that first seed, but it grew because I was ill. How does that make you feel? Are you ashamed of me being ill when you were such a wee baby?
No, if anything, I look at it as a positive. It was a negative thing that's turned into a positive thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What was your question exactly?
I know. I kind of went on a wee bit.
Yeah, I was going to try to think of everything you said.
No, just relax. And I know I didn't, because we are going to do a podcast about it. But do you, when you hear about postnatal depression and your mummy had become, I never suffered depression, but I became depressed after your birth.
Yeah.
Do you resent? Is there resentment? Is there, what does that look like when you think of your mummy, or you think of?
Well, from a young age, you kind of educated me on it, and Support Together's always kind of, far as I can be aware of, it's always been my life. The bright pink's always been there. The leaflets have always been about the house. I've always seen the word, maybe not understood what it was because I didn't have the emotional intelligence to fully get it. Mm-hmm. But you approached it in a way that didn't scare me. And there might have been a wee time where I was like, oh, I did this to my mum. But then you just said to me, Caitlin, that's not it. Nothing to do with you. Just you were unwell. So it reassured me. Mm-hmm. But that was maybe something whenever I was like 10, under 10, even like that, way back many years ago. So maybe once or twice, but like never in the recent years. I would never hold it against you or have a shame of it. Like if someone asked me what does my mum do? Oh, my mum works up there. See that big pink building? We actually walked past it. I was like, oh, that's where my mum works. Big pink, that's my mum.
Yeah. So would you believe that it's important for mothers and fathers to share?
Yeah. The less you talk about it, the more stigma there's going to be. So the child is going to think, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, the child's going to think that is a bigger and worse thing. That is the truth.
Keeping it a secret is going to make it.
Nutshell, isn't it? And we give more power then to the illness and the shame. Illness feeds off shame, and we've talked about that. Thank you, Caitlin. I know you're going to kill me when I go home.
Put you on a wee spot there.
But thank you so much. That was, and we have a podcast lined up. Caitlin's turned 18, and I think it's important for for a lot of people to hear her feelings and,
Yeah, the market.
you know, because
It'd be really good.
we Suzanne has asked for the mic, Caitlin, please.
It's just my daughter is 8 now, but last year she started asking me questions. When her brother was born, she kept asking me questions. No, Mummy, what was I like as a baby? And I told her honestly in a way that she would understand. I was like, listen, Mummy wasn't well when you were a baby, but I loved you very much. And I kind of know. And she's like, Mum, I understand. And kind of just
So you
in a
spoke
way
about
that,
it
yeah.
in
and
her language.
In her language, yes. And now I've been teaching her about her emotions and how to fill her cuppa, so to speak. And I've been trying to, we've been through a difficult time the past 7 months. I've actually split up with my partner and I've now a single mum and we've moved house. And I've done all that myself with 2 kids.
Yeah.
And Support Together has been there in the background through every step. And so has my friends, my S2 sisters, as we call them, has been there. And my family as well has been there. And without them, I couldn't have got through it.
Yeah.
But it has also taught me a lesson of how strong I am, how resilient I am. And that is also thanks to the teaching that I have got from Support Together and from there.
Because you do hold the answers. Self, you have the ability.
And
You are amazing.
the crazy thing is we don't give you the answers. We stand beside you while you find the answers yourself.
Big time.
The mums do it themselves. We simply stand shoulder to shoulder and guide you. There's times that it's there in front of you and you don't see it.
When you go,
Yeah.
seriously.
We'll be putting a wee spot lamp or we'll be planting.
Push you
Yeah.
till it.
Has been like vulnerable in sessions. But you're like, it's good to hear like Caitlin is
Yeah.
So we make there, Suzanne. Thanks, Pet. Suzanne, thank you for that.
it's good to hear like Caitlin saying, especially like she doesn't hold any resentment to you because, and even Suzanne, the way you speak to Catherine now, because it's something I do worry about. Well, you know, I was hospitalised and I always think, well, Freddie think my mummy didn't love me or my mummy didn't want me, but it's so good to hear that.
But you're breaking,
18 years old,
and you'll
it
be
doesn't-
breaking down the stigma from a very early age.
Oh yeah,
To
yeah.
talk about your
Yeah.
emotions, Emily. And I know, and that's why the Tale of PND's done like a fairy tale. It is a lovely, even leaflet that you can use to talk your children through that illustration of it. The bitch, as we call her. And I that's why we want Caitlin to share that
Yeah.
story. Geez, the two of us kill each other. But it's nothing to do with PND.
Yeah.
It's to do with pure love and daughter, mother and
Yeah.
daughter. And that's
see that.
that is so invaluable because we've so many mothers afraid to speak out because of the shame.
Yeah.
Well, that stopped my child thinking that I was such a bad mummy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't have addressed it at all up until recently. Now I would speak more openly about it, but it reiterates like it's not going to affect our bond or anything
It's
like
going to
that.
make it stronger.
Yeah,
But,
definitely.
and that's having them conversations and that connection. So
Yeah.
first and foremost, understanding what the illness done to you.
Yeah.
Did hospitalise you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That was awful.
Yeah.
Didn't just do it once.
No,
No.
3 times.
Yeah. You just, as you, and I remember Teresa used to say it was her wee hotel break.
Yeah.
Trying to make a joke on it, but it was,
Yeah.
that was hard times. Like, and them conversations you're able to have openly and honestly with your son.
Yeah.
Because there's no shame in that, Emily.
Yeah.
You didn't ask for that.
No, and like he'll always know that this was a charity that saved his mummy. If it wasn't for Support Together, his mummy wouldn't be here. So
You're going to have big go again. Yeah. But you are now ambassador.
yeah,
And I'll be
Very
honest,
proud.
and the money we received from the lottery, we were not going to be here.
no,
We wouldn't have been, we were going to shut shop. COVID made us sit and calculate. I couldn't keep working without nothing. And Michael provided for me so long. It got to the stage that was right, the crossroads is here. So you've come in under the stand tall, shine bright, that
Yeah.
money from the lottery funding.
Is why we're here.
Why we're here, why these
Why
two
we were
wonderful
able to-
ladies are, and I'm employed.
That's why we were able to help you.
yeah.
Yeah.
It saved
Why
my
we're
life, it
here.
saved my family as well.
Yeah.
Like it.
And now you're an ambassador.
Yeah.
You're sitting on our committee.
Yeah. Very
You're
proud.
hearing all the background shit that goes on.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
isn't that, did you ever see that happening?
No. It felt like there was no life beyond what had happened. It was just like, I just felt like that was going to be my life forever, just in and out and never feeling happy and not enjoying anything. And a few kick up the arses later.
Yeah.
A few honest conversations.
Honest conversations, yeah.
And that's while important, isn't it?
Yeah,
Because we seen you were
definitely.
stuck, and
Yeah.
you know, and you've helped us create a new program called Seat of Support that we're
That
going to
was a
bring
light
into this
bulb,
next
yeah.
application.
Oh, I remember it. It was fantastic.
You know, oh my word, that really got, because we talked about the nitty gritty of the illness, because we don't talk about the illness when we're out and about, don't we not, ladies?
No.
Because but we talk about it in one-to-ones or smaller groups. So no one, and that's not a massive
Yeah. Reassured.
reassurance.
We
Wow.
just at the break there, Sarah had showed me a wee quote, and I think it's really fitting for here because we're talking about the illness and how we're breaking the stigma. And it was it as in the bitch. It ran in my family until it ran into me. And by fuck, that's true for me. I actually don't know if it ran my family, but it ran to me and it stopped.
Because you've now brought education.
Education.
When Orla and the two boys become parents.
I would do if that's all I do in my life, that's what my mission will be. And I've always said it. If telling my story or speaking the words out that I wished somebody had said it and I had heard it. If it helps just one mummy, that's one more mummy saved. Because that's all it would have took for me. It would be just to hear it. So that's what it ran in my family until it ran into me. That's the power we have, girls.
Yeah, and you have the power then as
Mm-hmm.
well. Is there anything even, dads, and I know I'll keep going back to you, but you are an invaluable, and I'm mindful how long the session even's going, but being a dad, you know, a few dads have shared with us, and we would connect them with the dads a lot, and because it helps us to understand, because I'm a mummy, I'm a female, you know, I have my hormones, I have this, I have the on, and sometimes you think, I'm not saying it's all about me, but you get frustrated, you know, with society, with life, with everything. It happens with yous also, you know, and becoming a father, like I spoke to a few dads recently and they had shared with us that it took much longer for them to feel that connection with their child. The child was 1 or so when I was talking, when they were able to have that boisterous, silly fun, because before they were terrified at the baby stage, you know, and I know I took over a lot of trying to breastfeed, and I had the protocols, the policies and procedures. I was the inspector of all, chief mama, chief everything. I had everything that I was going to set out to do, but I didn't involve Michael in it. So when the baby was born, all this was set aside, and you were playing a lot of catch up probably. And I suppose what I'm trying to say is, from a dad's point of view, becoming a daddy is a massive emotional transition as well into the hood. Would it be, or do you just land in it and it's like, Jesus, this is all right, here's grand, suss this out rightly?
I don't think it was a walk in the park. It was daunting, and I suppose naturally you stand back a little bit, not to let the mother take over. She gave birth to the child, and ultimately, if I'm at work, she's going to be there most of the time, but you try to fill in the gaps when you're needed. But I never found that there was a bedding-in period where I had a bond with Caitlin or Padraig. The first minute you see them, that was it. You know, for me, that's what it was. It's the excitement of it, and wanting to get home as soon as possible to show this precious thing off to your family and your friends and your neighbours. So I didn't have a problem that way. Maybe I was a bit naive, thinking it would be, you know, it was going to be straightforward. And it wasn't whenever I realised that, you know, you weren't that well. But for me, I just continued on in bliss the whole time, thinking this is the best thing's ever happened. I couldn't believe the difference in me, as a person. So whenever you were unwell, then it was a bit of a shock, a bit of a setback. So there's a lot of readjustment had to be done. Had to rein my horns in a lot of the times to try and figure out the mood and what the next step was.
What about you, Eamon?
No, I had no bother bond from the minute I seen the three of them. That was no bother.
How about your half?
That's right. I wanted to buy Ciara's half of the first boy born.
The first word you said to me whenever Jude was born, can I buy your half?
Oh, it's just wild about him, just proud as could be and everything else. But no, as mixes I had no bother bonding with him and playing with him and changing nappies, and I was very hands on.
Well, Eamon did that there really when I wasn't fit to do it.
And it didn't bother me.
Eamon had that whenever I didn't. And I remember sitting back and resenting him for being able to do that and having the fun while I was sitting in a world of my own on the sofa. This is Fill Ur Cuppa, the Support Together podcast, and we couldn't bring the podcast to you today without the support of Clarity Scanning and Holistic Health. Clarity Scanning and Holistic Health is a private pregnancy, ultrasound and complementary therapy facility. Their mission is to provide a more holistic approach during your pregnancy. Visit clarityoma.com.
I suppose the understanding is out there that that's how Michael and Eamon have this experience, and then other men have other experience. That everybody's experience is different, and it isn't this all wonderful and marvelous, and often men do feel shoved. And we've had many a conversation in here, haven't we, talking about how often
I'd have been very different with Sean. I relied heavily on him because I was so feared and wanted to hide away a lot. I couldn't be left alone in the house and things in the very early days. And looking back, I put a lot of pressure on Sean, and I don't know how, do you know what I mean? How he dealt with that.
It was the illness.
Yeah.
And you're not being aware of course you're going to live with anxiety after having
but he had a lot of pressure there too. He was trying to deal with me, and also the pressure of
a newborn baby
helping me heavily with Podrick
and bringing
as well.
income. And did you straight away think of, I need to go out and earn more?
Well,
I need
that's
to
one
work
of the biggest
harder.
fears of being a father. You want to provide for the weans, and you want to make sure they grow up well, wanting for nothing but having everything they need. And then another big thing is the time I was sick, worrying what if something happened to me and that left Ciara with the three weans.
Yeah.
Jesus, that's the biggest shock and the biggest fear any father could have.
That was your biggest fear.
Oh, see, that was my biggest fear, me taking sick again and then leaving Ciara with the weans.
Yeah.
That's nothing I would wish on anybody.
That's real, that is.
Geez,
and then where do you talk
real.
about that? Where do
But
you go?
that's where you've lost control. You had no control over what was happening there.
Yeah.
That's where we didn't have any control whenever we were ill.
Yeah.
The control was taken off us.
We had no voice. We had no understanding. Same as any other illness, cancer, Crohn's disease, whatever else you want to, and what you went through, and it's all what's happening to me? What the thick's going on? What could happen down the line and the risk?
Looking at your wean and thinking, Jesus, if something happened to me and they're left without me, that would break your heart.
Yeah.
It was best for all him, and Eamon had no clue what was wrong with him. He wasn't cuckoo land because he didn't have a notion. It took him months to realise how ill he was.
It was very ill.
And then it was like a slap in the face. Holy shit.
I didn't realise how sick I was until the doctor says to me, you don't realise how sick you are.
Yeah.
I thought it was just, whacking out thing in my brain, it'll go away in a lot of days, but no.
And that fear, that fear consumes you from your toes to every ounce of your body and how you forward think. And that's fear and any illness. That's real, especially when you have a family. So suppose what we're trying to say here is that male and female, daddy, mommy.
Yeah.
There's different sides, isn't there, to often the stories, and often, I suppose,
It's not the one shoe fits all.
it's not well done. It's not the one shoe fit all. It definitely isn't. Look, really, and thank you for sharing that, Eamon, with us. I really do appreciate it.
Matthew.
You're Matthew.
Mr.
I didn't think you were getting away with it.
Mr. Mercury.
Hello.
What do you do to fill your cuppa?
Well, I think it's not very personal, but universally music brings people together, whether it be sad or happy music, it could be dance music, it's still something you choose to listen to if you're down to. I was watching this documentary on Bob Marley, and this fella said, once you feel the music, you don't feel the pain. So I
love it.
whether it be singing or playing guitar, music, everyone loves music. If you don't like music, if you don't like rock, you like your techno. If you don't like your techno, you like your classical. If you don't like your classical, you like whatever. But everyone has some sort of connection with music.
Yeah.
It helps you forget. It doesn't get rid of it, but it can help it. It'll mellow it out a bit, sort of thing,
So music is something that you go to,
Yeah.
and is a very important part of your
Soothe the
DNA.
soul.
He's a very, very wise head on very young shoulders, isn't
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Caitlin's going.
we Jam. I haven't heard much of you this
I've
now.
just been reflecting.
Reflecting.
And enjoying all the stories.
What have you...
Banging chairs.
Banging chairs. What have you done this last week
Oh.
or so to fill your cuppa, or to keep your cuppa filled?
Well, now. I was banging the floor in Portrush at the weekend.
What were you doing on the floor?
Just...
What is she going to share with us?
yeah, no, I'm wild heavy footed, but that's all I'm talking about.
Sean had a wild weekend.
Was her happy?
It was my birthday, so I was away celebrating, and my mum lives in Castle Dawson, so the port is kind of nearby. So we stayed over for 2 nights. So we were away one night, and then Mummy came down and met us, and it just was magical. And we didn't do nothing exciting or anything. It was just taking that
Walk
time.
the beach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little
Press
magical
pause.
moments. Yeah. Fair play. And Gemma, what's your thoughts as you hear all of this? Because you are our family support worker. We're all very important in support together, but your role is immensely
I
important.
think the most important thing is having honest conversations and not being afraid to let your guard down from hearing everybody. Like, just honesty in the room.
in safe spaces.
Yeah.
So an honest conversation should be with us, or with your partner, or with your sister, with your doctor.
I think there's no shame in being ill. No. At all. Like, I was very open whenever I became ill. And I think it was... it stopped me from becoming very, very unwell. Because of how aware I was, and I wasn't ashamed to say, look, I need help. I put my hand up and I shouted loud. And I think it stood me well doing that. So I would say to mummies, have the conversations.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to hide, or don't be afraid to open up. Don't hide.
Don't hide.
Don't hide.
Is right.
Yes.
No, it is because, as I say, you were once asked to mummy.
Yeah.
And now you're supporting the mummy.
Social connection.
Social connection is immensely important because
Social
humans we need
connection.
it. Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I remember, like, we didn't have a Land's Kingdom back then, but one of the first things I did with Sport Together was through Sure Start. We did the Understand This Normal program.
Yeah.
And I've talked about this before, but it was a 6-week program. And the girls that I met, they're from Fitna. I'm still friends with today. I'm well past Sure Start.
What do you call yourselves?
The Hillville Agents.
I thought you was the blue ones. The Fenton
Oh, no, that's a different group.
All right.
That's a different, but that's carried on from that. But you could see the ripple effect of the connect. And before I had Patrick, I probably didn't have that many friends around me. And I felt immensely lonely. So having Sure Start was amazing. That social connection.
Una Mary.
Oh, you don't have to worry about me, how I fill my cup of this, does it?
This.
There's no point.
Yeah.
It's amazing. These people are amazing.
None of these people will be here today only for you.
No, they're here for...
I don't know where I'd be without Sport Together.
No, I
I'm
know
sitting
where
here
I'd
now,
be.
well, but I don't know where I would have been.
But Una just doesn't help. It's not just that the support didn't stop after I was over postnatal, you are there through every step of our
journey.
life, of our here.
Like me and Ciara both volunteered. And whenever we became well, and look where we are now.
The bill is in the post. It's on its way, girl.
Jeez, I don't know.
Yeah.
Why do we
Is it
open
millions, is it?
Millions to sell a house.
Eamon, you may dig deep in that pot.
Get them socks
no money
out of
for
the drawer
pizzas.
and all that money. But no, here, I suppose it's about us now closing. Or,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's your feet, Damon.
Yeah. Matthews.
I think it's time for a few jokes.
Folks.
Now, before we started, I asked them would they have any wee jokes themselves. Anybody got any? No.
Eamon, have you a joke?
Wasn't no joke.
I'll keep
No,
wouldn't know a
nothing
joke.
clean, let's say.
Hold on. Oh my God. My book's done now. I've had to go to other.
We have been told by our audience she needs new jokes.
What are you saying, Eamon?
A wee stupid joke, Gemma.
Right.
How do you get 4
Are you
elephants?
putting
Oh,
the
no.
mic on you?
You haven't listened to the podcast. I did that the last time.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
What's the answer anyway? I
How do you
can't
get
remember.
4 elephants into money?
Push them in.
Open
2
the
in the
door.
front, 2 in the back.
Okay.
How do you get 4 giraffes into money?
Open the roof.
Take out the elephants. How do you know? How do you know there's an elephant in the fridge?
There's no giraffes in it.
No, you see the footprints in the butter.
Wait, doesn't.
Now, who's missing the party? I don't know what that means, but Arda always says it. But that's all I have for you, Gemma.
Okay.
Now, who's missing the party?
Until next time, Emma.
I'm trying to go through here and see.
I think they're going to hear them jokes. This
Again.
podcast coming.
What do you call 100 baby sheep rolling down a hill?
Don't know. What do you call 100 baby sheep
Rolling down a hill.
rolling down a hill?
A lamb slide. Oh, come on.
Euphoria.
Okay.
2 artists had an art contest. It ended in a draw. What is the most groundbreaking invention of all time?
Women.
Well, yes, but the shovel.
Groundbreaking. Oh, I
Groundbreaking.
didn't get that. You said that, Elaine.
There's actually not a whole lot of jokes here, girls, boys and girls.
Come on.
Eamon, you're
Nicola.
bound to have another one.
Oh, Michael has one of you, Mick.
How do you confuse an Irishman? Give him
Call him Mickey.
Put him in a red room, tell him to stand in the corner.
give him a shovel and a spade and say, take your pick.
Oh, well, go on.
Paddy and Mick and John goes for an interview.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So the interviewer sets out on the table a spud, a knife, and a carrot. So he says to John, John, what's the odd one out? He says, it's easy, the knife, the other 2 are vegetables. So Mick went on, Mick, what's the odd one out? Oh, it's easy, boys. It's the knife, the other 2 are vegetables. Paddy goes on, Paddy, what's the odd one out? Oh, Jesus, boys, it's the carrot. Boy says, what? The carrot? Why? He says, you make chips with the other 2.
I could hardly breathe there. Thinking, was he coming out? Well, Eamon's known
No,
for
it's
his
all-
jokes.
all
Should I
cleaned
tell the
up
one
on
about
board.
the bit they're all making the dinner?
Right.
Oh, jeepers. Oh,
Do you know
go,
the one I
Gemma.
tell you in the
Yeah,
taxi?
the one you tell us one. But you tell us 2 different versions of it.
Right.
Yeah, go on ahead.
Now, if it goes wrong,
She usually does the punchline before she does the joke.
there's this here man and woman, right? And they lived in this house, right? Well, anyway, the man was out getting vegetables for the dinner. He's out in the garden. What are you laughing at? Well, anyway, he took a turn and he dropped dead. Okay, sorry. So he dropped dead, and then the doll went over to Rethna. And the door, the next door. Jesus, my husband's only after dropping dead. She said, what are you going to do now? I'm going to go in and open a ton of peas. Because you had no vegetables for the dinner. I didn't tell that right.
But I apologise because we just told us that joke and I nearly went, help myself. She told it nighty one day, and I have.
She took the shine off it.
Wasn't it?
No. She had nothing to make it in there, so she just put it in and opened.
But the first time you told it, you said that he was making mince, but he was going to get cabbage. And I said, but cabbage doesn't go with mince. You don't eat cabbage and mince.
I did. I tell her I'm no good at telling.
I know.
Oh, you are. So we don't.
I think that'll do it.
That'll do.
And then we can wind her up at that.
Biggest cheesy jokes I have heard in a long while.
I apologise. We apologise. And it's not even in advance. We just apologise for them jokes.
Yeah.
We're going to have to get some new ones.
But here, thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everybody. It's been amazing. Yeah, thank you so much.
Honestly, thanks a million.
Okay, bye.
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 This was Fill Ur Cuppa, the Support Together podcast with me, Mrs. O, Ciara O'Gowan, my co-hosts Una Leonard and Gemma Cassidy. Brought to you today by Clarity Scanning and Holistic Health and produced by 9874 Creative.